holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
So here are the Lions now coming out for their opening drive. At a glance at the man under center at 6'5", he always demands attention.
And you and I both know that any win is a good win, and that's what they did last week. But there's also plenty for him to work on in his game, wasn't there?
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, an interception. Yeah, you know, he wants to increase that a little bit in terms of ratio. But first and foremost, they did win the game.
A first down run, not going to get him a whole lot. Maybe a yard. Yeah, it looks like just 1 yard there. So that'll bring up 2nd and 9. The numbers for him from a week ago. 16 carries, 131 yards, and also the score.
Well, we know they've clinched a playoff spot, but there's plenty of football left to play, and I'm a proponent of continuing to do what you've done throughout the season, especially with teams that are heavy run teams, because if you throttle back too early, you lose the rhythm of the run game, not just with the runner, but with the offensive line as well. Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
So a solid run by Saquon Barkley, and another 1st and 10 here. He'll drop to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Isaiah Simmons picking it off.
And he will bring it back. An interception return for a Colts TD.
It goes without saying, but I'm going to say it anyway. That's a ball he would like to have back, and it lands right in the lap of the defender from there. He doesn't have very far to go before he gets to the end zone, and he got there in a hurry.
Now the try here for the point after. And this is good to make it 7-0 Indy. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field.
And looking to erase his memory bank from his opening drive a moment ago that ended in a pick six for the first points of the ball game.
And in my experience, a lot of quarterbacks, after throwing a pick six, the first thing they want to do is fire another one and get those points back immediately. But what really helps you get back in sync is a good, long, methodical drive, mixing the run and the pass, tamp things down a little bit.
Snap will come from the 31 on 2nd and 7.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw.
This one goes out wide for Barkley.
And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. They'll look to throw again.
And he'll get this underneath, dropping it off for Barkley.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Again, he'll drop to throw.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well-timed there, and now 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
Now the former Oklahoma Sooner Tress Way on to punt the football. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. And some room to work. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 15 carries, 56 yards.
And give him a ton of credit. He's running the ball really well. But I look at those guys up front. That unit is truly playing as just that. Every move that they make, their teammate understands what that move means and what they need to do. And right now, they're starting to grind it out pretty well.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2. Back to throw here. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10. Down at the 33. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open. Complete. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7.
Well, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and sent him on a crossing route. And this works really well when you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great play there. His 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Colts are able to grow their lead.
Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Rohrwasser now for the point after.
And it's good to make it 14-0. So that winds up a 7-play drive all told. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run.
Following the touchdown, Rohrwasser handles the kickoff duties. This will be fielded inside the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Yeah, Detroit back in possession of the football.
And it's been a rocky start for them thus far. They had the turnover and then the punt on those first 2 drives.
So there is optimism because they've improved, right? Turnover, you just noted it.
Punt's better than the turnover.
The punt is better on the second one. Now they're hoping to turn into first downs and hopefully points.
Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1. Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They'll look to throw here on first down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
You can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. Barkley, toss play left. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
So a step in the wrong direction. Now they'll look to make amends on 2nd and 14. Out of the shotgun, they run with Barkley. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain there, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 13. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
Yeah, it's still early in the game. No sense taking a chance on 3rd down and forcing one into traffic. So I like the wise play he made there. Get it to the sideline out of bounds where no one's going to have a chance at it.
As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC.
And for them right now, not a done deal. They are holding down one of the final 3 wildcard spots with 2 weeks to go. But, you know, there are others, Charles, kind of nipping at their heels a bit.
And, Brandon, it's always worth keeping in mind, and I have to keep writing it down for myself. Remember, it's 7 teams in each conference now making the playoffs. So that brings more important games to the end of the season. So, in theory, more teams alive for a postseason berth later in the year.
2nd and 5. A quick slant to Hill. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. They juked him. And a pretty good run as he'll get this down close to a 1st at the Lions' 40-yard line. This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's able to get the 1st before he's taken down at the 36.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff as they run left side. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain down to about the 33. Now third down is looming. A pickup of 2 on first down and just 1 yard there. They'll look to throw here. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion and would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. The drive will start with an option going left. And he'll get nothing there. Stopped right at the line as that will wind us down to the end of this first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They'll set up the screen to Barkley. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
Boy, that was certainly well read defensively. And the key to any screenplay is space to work. And there was none to be found there. And they tackle him for just a short gain.
And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. They'll look to throw. Gets this out to Saquon Barkley. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. 3 yards, all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down.
The key to any screenplay is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Detroit. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away.
And this returnable for Hill.
That'll go as a punt of 42, 7 on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do.
And this is going to be a Colts first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line.
I'm not sure how much more evidence they need, partner, than to understand that if they don't start to slow him down, it's going to be a long afternoon here at the stadium because he is just shredding them at this point. And let's face it, coming into the game, they knew he would be the focal point of their attack. This is going to take an 11-man unit on the defensive side to start making plays.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he's got room. And he is able to take this way down into Detroit territory.
97 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. His throw caught right around the 6. Touchdown, Colts. A great effort there. With touchdown number 15 on the year and 2nd of the game. And the Colts add on to their lead.
Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league, but this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Point after, up and good. And it's now 21-0. Just a 4-play drive that time. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown.
Following the touchdown, Rohrwasser handles the kickoff duties. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC.
And the division title, that's out of reach. We know that. This is as good a spot, Charles, as they're going to get. That first wild card and the number 5 overall seed.
Partner's not out of the question, especially with the 7 seeds that they have now in the playoffs. If you do win and the other wild card teams win in the first round, you could find yourself with a home game in the divisional round. Now, we know that's not likely, but it's not out of the question. Bottom line, you have to win to put yourself in that position.
And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. The Lions on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a pickup of 6, but it's not going to be enough. And the punt team's going to be summoned on 4th down.
This team doesn't mind running the ball in any situation, and I thought he was going to get the first down the way the play developed, but the defense closed in and stopped him just about a yard short.
Here's Tressway now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. Watch out for Hill on the return.
A nice return there of 11 to help mitigate a good punt.
And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the field general leading his offense back out there for the next possession. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of him. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And down he goes just beyond the 35. And that pretty move got him some extra space to run. The Colts on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
106 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. They'll set up the screen now to Kamara. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
And that nearly a turnover, but it's incomplete. Oh, fortunate to retain possession there, and it's 2nd down.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 31-yard line. Back to throw again. Incomplete.
I know we're just in the second quarter and there's a ways to go in this game, but that's his second drop. I'm wondering if that's a little bit of an alarm bell for them when they start calling plays on the offensive side of the ball.
His eyes already looking upfield on that last one before he brought it in. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 20-yard line. And he'll give it here to his running back. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. He has been a workhorse for them in this game, and ball security hasn't been an issue until that point.
Yeah, and let's face it, when he's going to carry the ball that many times, he becomes more and more of a target for the defense, knowing that he's going to be the primary guy. They'll just send more and more players towards him, trying to make sure they knock the ball free.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. Now the question, was the knee in fact down before this ball comes loose? And is the video convincing enough to overturn it?
A lot of factors here. Remember, you also need clear possession of the football afterwards. This is a tough one to overturn.
So that one overturned. They say the knee was down, and that will not be ruled a fumble.
Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on third down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here.
Rohrwasser's kick is good.
And the route is on. It's 24-0.
So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping
for. Detroit's offense ready to take over.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Yeah, another negative play in an early down situation. This one to start the drive. You're putting a lot of pressure on your quarterback to bail you out when you're in 2nd and long yardage.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. They'll set up to throw. Buying time to his left. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for third. Looking to throw.
And this is taken in by Darnell Mooney. And he is going to have a Lions first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now here's a throw that's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
2nd and 1.
And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
They tried to throw on 2nd down. Unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the #3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Completes it to the tight end, Kittle. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down. He'll look to throw. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
And I don't think there's any question that this offense is going to need to hit on a few more plays like this. It's been a difficult first half for them, to say the least. And I do believe if they want to get back in this game, they need to start right now. It's kind of like making adjustments. If you try and wait until the half, it's probably too late. They need to get going right here.
The Lions into the red zone for the first time. 1st and 10 at the 19. Now a toss left side into the hands of his tight end. And able to get this down inside the 15, either the 13 or 14 before he's out of bounds.
7 yards, the pickup there.
On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And that didn't fool anybody. He's going to be dropped in the backfield. Call that a loss of a yard, and things get a little more difficult here. 3rd and 5.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. He'll look to throw. That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And Boswell's kick is good. And they get a little bit closer here as the lead's down to 3 touchdowns. Now maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's been in a pretty good group. They actually have more yards on the ground than through the air, but both have been good, pretty balanced.
And have we ever met a coach when we've talked to him before a game that hasn't mentioned wanting to be balanced?
No, because then you've got both sides hitting the defense. They don't know what to expect, right?
Really helps your play calling, because now you're in a position where you're confident in either aspect of the game. Dial it up and let it go. And so far, that's allowed them to lead.
Absolutely. Have the lead here in the second quarter. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. They're going to look to throw.
Open man, that's Devontae Smith.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he fires one incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They'll set up a throw.
And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down.
He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that,
yeah,
right?
He said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December. We'll begin out in Houston, and it's the Texans who've got the lead in the second quarter. DeAndre Swift, the lone touchdown there as he's cashed one in on the ground. From there, we'll head to Washington to check out the football team at home at FedEx Field. And they were winners in that one over the visiting New York Giants. Joe Mixon, what a game. 3 touchdown runs in the victory. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Second half ready to get underway. The Colts with a lead, and they will receive the football. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Colts. They'll have it first here to start quarter number 3. And the first half definitely went their way, and this would seem to be a great opportunity to kind of put this game a little closer out of reach with a score here.
Yeah, and it's a wonderful opportunity for them because if they can add 7 more to their lead before the other guys even see the football, that could be the decisive blow in this game. I think that's how they're eyeing it. That's how they're approaching it.
And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. And they'll go back to Smith. This time it's complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Complete. The Colts send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the second time. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return, and the Lions will take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll go to Barkley again. And he'll be brought down here at the 28. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
Here's Tressway now as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Here's Hill on the return. It'll be a 40-yard punt, 8 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. On third down, he'll drop to throw. The open man here, Renfro. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now this one complete on the slant route. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 125 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. They're trying to keep the drive going. This will be play number 8. It's 3rd and 2. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's got his target. It's caught for a Colts touchdown. Devontae Smith, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage.
You know, in golf, they often talk about playing the course and not worrying about what the other players are doing, what their scores are. That's essentially what we're seeing from this offense. They're just having fun and doing what they feel like doing today.
On for the PAT. And that'll increase their lead to 28. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it culminates in an Indianapolis touchdown. Following the touchdown, Rohrwasser handles the kickoff duties. This taken in at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field.
They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by L'Jarius Sneed. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, they'll try to run it. Works his way inside the 30 on a pickup of 4.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. Rohrwasser's kick is good. They're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great, too.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Called it the 26. And Detroit getting set to go now. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. A 1st down carry for Barkley. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked it.
And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Osa Odighizuwa able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, they were trying to set up a screen there, but that one just too slow in developing.
Yeah, too slow in developing and well read, because that ends up being a bad feeling for the quarterback. When he's got no blocking in front of him, his guys are just going to let defenders go, and they're coming for him. So if it's not there, you just got to throw the ball at the turf at your running back's feet.
it 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on 1st down.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And he picks up the 1st down yardage as he takes it down to the 16.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll make it 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now 3rd down coming up. Well, the offense has had a big day. He's been great running the football, but I don't think anybody liked that last result.
No, they didn't like the last result at all, but they have to look at it in total, don't they? They've had a big day running the football. You take an occasional loss or an occasional bad play along the way, but all in all, they have to like what they've done.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
Rowasser's kick is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. And this will wind up a Lions 1st down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. We are off to the 4th quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And the catch made by Hopkins. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They can go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
Now this pass into the hands of Saquon Barkley. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground. The intended target, Saquon Barkley. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Now back to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard. They'll look to throw again. On the slant, complete to Hopkins. And he is going to have a Lions first down, and he'll have it by plenty as they're able to keep the drive alive on 3rd and inches.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. On 2nd down now, Barkley. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
And they'll try the option on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. A handoff to Barkley on the option. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Back to throw here. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. They wind up with 6 on the hook up there, but it's not enough. 4th and goal.
Completed pass brings up a 4th down situation. Do you play analytics on this one? Well, you know, what do your analytics tell you about going for it here? I wonder what they would say.
They tell me you're down by this margin 4th quarter. You're going. The field goal doesn't help. They're going to go for the 6 here on 4th and goal. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Detroit. Saquon Barkley with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Lions are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. So 4th and goal, their head coach gave that offensive line one more chance to punch it in, and this time they were successful.
They certainly paid off the coach's confidence, didn't they? And how about the fact that they stayed with the ground game? Because a lot of times in that situation, partner, we see teams try and roll the quarterback out, give him a little run-pass option, and treat it like a 2-point conversion play. In this case, they went with a little bit more power and got it done.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the lead drops from 34 down to 27. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. We find ourselves here in the midst of a one-sided affair. A lot of fill time down the stretch, Mr. Davis.
So we could talk about food because that is something that you and I both enjoy.
We share that.
We enjoy our time at the table. So maybe the best steakhouses in the city, but in all seriousness, the performances that we've seen this year, we've seen a bunch of great ones. And it's going to be hard to parse who's going to win the MVP.
Yeah, it really is.
Is it going to be a runner? Is it going to be a thrower? Can a defender finally win it this season? Those are the things that we could probably discuss.
And collectively, this is about as dominant of a performance as you could have hoped for on both sides of the football.
Might have to put it #1 for what we've seen this season.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And this one complete to Smith. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's a beautiful throw there, and he's been sensational the entire game, moving it around, spreading it, hitting the right guys. And look, under normal situations, partner, I would expect him to come out of the game now. They've got it in hand. But you and I have been around this league a long time, and every time we ask head coaches about it, hey, why don't you take your quarterback out when the game's in hand? They just got to give us that look like that's what he's paid to do. So it's a very unusual situation. I'd want him out. They tend to leave him in.
Now a handoff here to his running back. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. He's going to use his legs here. He'll pick up 7 there on the first down keeper. Second down and 3. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Right back to him on 1st down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 164 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. And to give this time to the tailback. And a short pickup there down to about the 9. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on 3rd down. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory. And this coaching staff, CD, I think you'd agree, pleased with this overall effort.
Oh, I think they're more than pleased, right? They've got to look at each other like, wow, we just pulled this one off in a big way. Great job of motivating, even better job of game planning. They were facing a top 10 defense, so they had to make sure that everything was buttoned down, and they had it ready to go, and their guys executed.
Yeah, they were concerned not only about moving the ball through the air, but also on the ground, but both really started to come in sync. So for the Colts, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And they will hit the road next week. Meanwhile, for Detroit, it's a bad time of year to take a loss like this as they drop to 10-5. And they will be back home next week for a date with Washington. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Colts are winners as we say so long from Indianapolis.